upgrade and bring those subsidies to match with the present demand.
Correct.
When this solar mission was announced in 2009, that time what happened is they had a futuristic view. They did not know the quantum of the response they would get.
Right.
Today the response is overwhelming. And therefore what happens is, since there is a lot of response from the private sector, the private sector, since they need to invest money, they are actually seeing to certain subsidies over a period of time.
Right.
The subsidies formulated by the government then have not been sort of, let me say, they are not in step with what it is today, the realities of today. So if the government can realign and have a review of the quantum of the subsidies, then I'm sure the private sector will be encouraged, will feel very much enthusiastic to go ahead with projects, even if it is a high cost project, because they know over a period of 25 to 30 years, the returns will surely come and they will be having good margins. And in the process, what happens is, let's forget the margins they are going to get. Let's see to the practical aspect. Today we are a energy deficit country. So we should say that, okay, we are getting the power, the people are getting the power, and if the people are going to be happy, I'm sure the politicians also will be happy, because these people will be voting them. So it is in their own interest that they have a review of the subsidy quantum to be given, which at present I feel is not very lucrative to the business segment.
So reviewing a subsidy quantum, that is the need of the hour. And of course, when they announce this solar mission, they also don't know at what pace it will go and what type of response they will generate.
True.
We are taking a short break now. Do stay with us. Welcome back. We are watching Money Plant. Krishnakumarji, talking about the investment in this sector, are we attracting the foreign capital also to boost our sector? And in terms of R&D also, in terms of attracting investment, we share some sort of demographic advantages over China and Taiwan. How competitive we are with them, and are we competing with them?
At this particular time, no. I would not like to call it as we are competing with them. But yes, the first question of yours, the foreign equity partners or equity participation into the projects, as initially we were talking about, there are foreign companies, in this particular and batch 2 segment itself, there are, I think, around 3 or 4 foreign companies which have actually got the projects, whether it is from the European segment or whether it is from the American segment. They are definitely the companies who are investing into solar projects, because they are seeing there is a potential in the projects, in the solar side of it, and there is money available out there which can be put into Indian market. And talking about the possibility of getting the returns, yes, it is a possibility. Across the world, there is a figure of around 7.5 rupees per unit, which is the standard which they are talking about, whether it is in the European market or whether it is in the US market. So these guys are looking at 8 plus today figure, which could be brought down to maybe around 7.5. So they are looking at investments coming into India on the projects. For them, it is viable. But at this particular time, I will not call it as we are competing with China on the cost segment. But maybe we are very good on the technology side of it. That's what I would say.
First, in terms of investment, how can we attract more investment into this sector? One. Secondly, signing the PPA or power purchasing agreement with the state electricity board is not enough, because they have their own problems also. How to solve that, and how an entrepreneur is facing that?
So just to answer your first question, the demand is there, and surely if the industry can supply, there is a possibility of absorption, full capacity absorption. As far as the other question you have raised, as far as the funds problem, I don't think that is a problem. Actually that is not the problem. That could be a problem for some investors. Our magazine Corporate India, we did a all India survey. 160 companies have formed joint ventures as of now. They have formed. Now, I'm not talking of our own Indian companies, Tata Solar, Reliance, you see all
big
these companies, they have also invested. That means the problem is not funds. The problem is the technology. When I say technology, the cheaper technology. And there is a lot of research R&D going on.
Right, that is essential for this.
And it is going on, and if you go in depth, today there is a lot of cost savings as far as the manufacturing of the
modules or panels.
Yes, the panels are concerned. So finance is not a problem actually. Even the solar mission, which has allocated as of now tentatively, let's say about 90,000 crore rupees, is really a big amount, and that can be resorted to by the industry.
Right.
But now the problem is of the mechanism of how to disburse this.
Right.
Because there is a fear also that there could be certain companies who are just jumping onto the bandwagon of this sunrise industry, and they are trying to capitalize.
Right.
And the apprehensions of the government and the industry, because you see the genuine entrepreneurs are really concerned.
Right.
If that happens, I'm sure the power the state electricity boards will increase the quantum from 10% of power acquisition to, let's say, 15%, which in terms of megawatts is a big jump. Yes. And even if the state power company state boards, they want to have, let's say, 25% of the purchase, the generation is not to that extent as of now. So the state electricity boards have to go gradually to increase the quantum of acquisition of power or buying of power. At the same time, the industry needs to generate that much capacity so that they are able to give to the state boards.
And not only that, actually, see, the state governments, if they are able to take that load into themselves, that's the problem today. The power allocation I've been talking about. If they have the facility to take that much load, although I put some 10,000 megawatt of projects, if the facility is not there, I don't think my investment will be giving me any returns. That's first thing. Second thing is PPAs. You see, today if I'm signing with NTPC, it's great, bankability. But state governments, we need to be really looking at those things too.
One last point from both of you: comparison of wind, hydro, and solar potential and capacity. Very few words.
Okay, potential solar, we have huge potential on solar, because today we are less than 1% on the solar. We're not even maybe 5%. So solar is huge potential because we are a solar rich country. Wind, we are getting exhausted because of the states like Tamil Nadu. They have put in a lot of investments onto wind. Hydro, yes, people really have to put up their projects. Wherever they have taken, it's still in the pending stages. So if they can come up, that will be really great.
One last word from you on this. Potential and capacity.
Obviously solar, wind, and I would say the biomass also. But what needs to be seen today is the potential of tidal waves.
Right.
We have a large coastal border, and we are not seeing to that renewable segment which has huge potential.
And it's untapped.
Absolutely.
Zero.
There are so much. There is so much to be done there. I don't know why this is not being even thought of by the government as well as the industry.
Right.
There's some initiative which is coming up from the private segment on the offshore wind energy. So that's going to happen, but that's a huge.
We have a mission in place, we have a policy in place, and entrepreneurs are showing up the huge interest in this solar and all the renewable energy space. Felix, Mr. Krishna Kumar, thanks a lot for joining us on Money Plant.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Sailesh.
Well, that's it we have for today's episode. Thanks for watching. Please send your feedback to Money Plant, Doordarshan Kendra, Varli, Mumbai 400030. Have a nice weekend. Namaskar.